It is time for some Ahsoka Episode 5 predictions. Alright, it's Will with the Padawan Pops YouTube channel, and I have been waiting about as long as I can to actually make predictions for this next episode of Ahsoka. It's currently Sunday night, and I just haven't been able to figure out what I think is going to happen next, so today I'm going to really break it down into 3 sections of what I think we're going to see in Ahsoka Episode 5. I'm going to save the Anakin and World Between World predictions for last because I think that can probably be the most complex or convoluted. I'm going to start with these simple aspects. First, and I think this breakdown is going to be very similar to the last episode where we thought it would be around 80 or 90% action and then 10% outside things. That's what happened, and I think it's going to be similar in this episode, but the 80 to 90% being Ahsoka and Anakin in the World Between Worlds. So let's focus on the 10 to 20% of the non-World Between Worlds stuff. First, I think we're going to see a little bit of Hera going around. We know she's going to land on the planet where Ahsoka fell off the cliff where she was fighting Baylan. We're going to see her and her crew land there. I don't know that they're going to stay there. They may explore for a little bit, but I think they're going to have to figure out what their game plan is going forward. I believe that will be minimal in this episode. Maybe we see her going around trying to gather a little bit of support, potentially from Zeb. We haven't seen him yet, so it would be cool for him to show up in this episode. I know we've all been waiting for him since Mando Season 3. One of the things I've been floating around is when Carson Teva shows up in Mando Season 3 and goes and talks to Zeb at that saloon, potentially that could line up with this Ahsoka season, so maybe we see that scene around the same time and we see him going to Zeb and telling him what's going on and that Hera needs help. I think that's a potential thing to see here. If not this episode, maybe the next. I wouldn't be too surprised, if we saw her going around maybe to the New Republic again and saying like, hey, this is happening, but she also could just skirt them the rest of the way out, and I wouldn't be surprised either if she did not include them and was just going at it on her own. I also think we're going to get a little bit into what is going on that ring hyperspace ship with Morgan Elsbeth and Shin and Baylan and Sabine Wren. I think we get a glimpse at what's going on with them. Potentially we see them actually come out of their hyperspace jump in this new galaxy. I'm not exactly sure how long it is going to take them to make the complete jump. Maybe it just has them talking a little bit while they're traveling, and then we get a little bit of a glimpse into what their motivations are outside of just finding Thrawn. Like, why is Baylan and Shin in on this? What's their story truly about? We know Morgan Elsbeth is looking for Thrawn. She's wanting to bring him back and start a war and take over the New Republic, we assume, but we know a lot less about Baylan and Shin, so maybe we gather some information there. We also see what Sabine is up to on this ship. Like, is she just going along for the ride, or is she starting to maybe thwart this plan or undermine it? I would be shocked if she's just, a bystander not doing anything. So I think those two aspects will be 10 to 20% of the show. It's only 40 minutes runtime, so maybe 5 minutes of it total, following them around 5 to 10 minutes. Seems like 10 would be a stretch, but a small amount of time in this episode there. But then I think the great majority of the episode will be between Ahsoka and Anakin in the World Between Worlds, so let's dive into that. I'm not going to predict whether I think that's actually Anakin or not. I have 2 videos on that. You can catch those in the description below. It could go either way. Maybe it is Anakin and he's in the World Between Worlds. Maybe it's, the son or the brother or whatever from the Clone Wars, or maybe it's a projection in Ahsoka's mind. Whatever this is, Anakin or not, I do think we're going to see Anakin as we see him here, taking Ahsoka around in the World Between Worlds. I think they're going to be looking into different portals as they walk through. I believe Ahsoka's going to see a lot of different events. There's been some rumors and leaks out there for quite some time saying that we're going to see, a scene of Ahsoka fighting Anakin on Mustafar. I think that would be super cool, but I think mainly we're going to see Anakin or whoever this is showing Ahsoka all these different events leading up to where she is at this specific moment. And I think the main theme is going to be, regardless of what Ahsoka could have done back during the time when Anakin was falling to the dark side in Revenge of the Sith, how everything happened leading up to this point, that's how it was going to happen. Maybe we see where Ahsoka, or where Sabine thinks Ahsoka caused her parents to die. Maybe we see that, but the overarching theme is that everything was going to happen a certain way regardless. There's not one thing or another that Ahsoka could have done to change things, and I think that's going to be the push she needs to keep her on the right path to what she's ultimately trying to do in stopping Thrawn. She can't focus on the past. She can't get bogged down in regret or whatever it is. Things were going to happen the way they were going to happen. She can only change what's going on from here out. She can make an impact on that, not on the things of the past. Now, with them being in the world between worlds, there's a lot of potential to see a lot of older Star Wars characters as she's looking in these portals. We're assuming we're going to see prequel era flashbacks when Ahsoka's younger with Anakin and Obi-Wan. Again, there's that rumored Mustafar fight scene. We could see scenes from Rebels. We could see the original trilogy heroes. We could see Captain Rex. The possibilities are really endless when you're dealing with, not time travel, but looking back on time. You could see a lot of cool Star Wars characters, so I'm expecting some cameos in here, some Easter eggs for sure. I think it's going to be a very cool walk through Star Wars history for Star Wars fans to watch. I'm not really sure how I see this reconciling. Like, how do they wrap this up in the world between worlds? Does Ahsoka go back into the portal where she was? Does she start back over at a certain point and then replay the events? That's been a theme floated out there. I'm not sure how she comes out of it or really what they do next. It's just, there's so many possibilities. We do know that Disney thinks a lot of this episode because they're showing it in theaters Tuesday and certain AMC theaters across the country. Dave Filoni is directing it, so it's gonna be good. There's just so many possibilities to make a definitive prediction. I don't know. So I'm gonna stay a little bit general. We're gonna see Hera out doing her thing, trying to get support, figure out what the next steps are. We're gonna see Sabine on the ship with the bad guys going through hyperspace, and we're gonna see a lot of Ahsoka and Anakin in the world between worlds, looking back on Star Wars history, and Ahsoka gaining some insider knowledge or whatever it may be to take her on the next steps of this journey and reunite with Sabine, hopefully find Ezra and stop Thrawn from coming back. So that's what I think is going to happen in this episode. Let me know in the comments what you think we're going to see in episode 5. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I post Star Wars content daily and would love to have you along for the ride. Again, thank you, and may the Force be with you.